friends. Welcome back to Second Star to the Left. I'm Michelle, and this is my daughter, Billy.
Hi. My hand didn't reach.
And here's where we'll share board game reviews, ramblings, and a few wrong turns along the scenic route. Some weeks, what you really want to do is travel. And you know, it's been crazy and you can't, or work is stressful. So you can travel by map.
Like the Muppets.
Like the Muppets. Or in this case, like Rawr and Write let you do.
Or Indiana Jones.
Oh.
Or I guess Rawr and Write. That works, yeah.
These are a few of our favorite Rawr and Writes that let you travel by map or maybe go on an adventure or explore.
There should be a Muppets Indiana Jones movie.
There's not a Muppet Indiana Jones.
But there could be. There should be.
Maybe there could be a Muppet Indiana Jones Rawr and Write. The one thing all of these have in common is that we're going to use a map of some kind to explore or adventure or travel. And the first one on our list is Boomerang Australia. Why Australia, you ask? I don't know. Because it's the first one that we played. We played this on Board Game Arena, and then we loved it, so we picked up a copy in Spanish.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose.
Neither of us speak Spanish.
But we know the rules, so it really wasn't a big deal. In Boomerang Australia, you are drafting cards back and forth so that you can collect sets of memories.
So draft and write.
It's a draft and write. So you want to collect sets of memories or kangaroos or plants or for some reason little swimming guys. This one is small and quick and easy to play, and it plays really well on Board Game Arena as well. We have played the other ones on Board Game Arena, but not in person. I don't know, there's something about Boomerang Australia.
It seems very fitting.
That makes sense. Where are boomerangs from? Also, the and write part of this is a tiny little map that you're trying to finish off sections of in order to score more points. And when you score more points, you win. Easy. So you get to travel to Australia by map with a draft and write. Sometimes you travel somewhere and you need to know how to get around locally. Like if you went to London. There's a map.
There is?
Yes.
Okay.
This one's Next Stop London, where you are creating lines between stations to help you get around London. You have 9 main districts plus 4 little bonus ones in the corner, and you're trying to create a route that goes from station to station, crossing over the river as much as you can, moving from district to district, creating stations that have different train lines coming into them as junctions. It's really fun to play, and every turn you're playing with one color of pencil. These can't cross over each other unless there's a junction. So first you're going to make, say, the green line, and you might box yourself into a corner. Then you're in trouble when you go to make the blue line.
Dummy.
You're flipping over cards one at a time that have a shape on them that tells you where to draw your next station. So you just have to make good choices. But like most Rawr and Writes or Flip and Writes or Draft and Writes, you're using shared information. So Billy and I would both be trying to draw something to the next triangle station. Only I would probably make a really good decision, and, you know, Billy's underground line would go right into the river. And actually in this game you should cross the river because you get more points for that.
Even underground?
Yeah. You should play this one. You'd like this one.
Probably, yeah.
I've played this one solo a lot, and Billy hasn't played this one yet. But again, it's a map. And I really loved my one and only visit to London, so I like to pretend I'm going back and traveling by map. Sometimes you want to go on an adventure or explore, and maybe you don't have a map per se, but you have a boat and you have an idea of where you want to go with that boat and what you want to put on that boat. Look, work with me.
Explore is in the title. It counts.
It says explore and draw. This one is the Isle of Cats Explore and Draw. And one of the most thematic of the Rawr and Writes that we have. And while this seems like it might be kind of a big Roll and Write. It really isn't. You're just making up a grid of, I think it's 4x4, it's 4x3, that are the cats, the polyomino tiles that you would use in the original game. You get to decide which row or column that you want to use, and then you put those cats on your boat and you get those objectives. Easy. Plus you have nice little colored markers to color the cat shapes onto the boat. Sure, there's no map, but look, they're going exploring, and
There's
it's
a
definitely
map of a
an
boat.
adventure. And I bet someone on that boat has a map. They found the Isle of Cats. That's all I'm saying.
We have a map of a boat. That's still a map.
It is. There's a map of the boat. So, you know, if you want to get away for a little bit, rescue some cats, and then squeeze them onto a boat like Tetris tiles,
As one does.
this is the way to go. What if you have a map, but you can only read it one room at a time because it's a map of a dungeon? Dungeons, Dice, and Danger is a dungeon crawling roll and write where you're making your way through the dungeon to fight the big monsters. You're moving through the dungeon, you're collecting treasures, getting strength and courage so that you can fight these boss monsters, and you're doing it racing against your opponents, because once you've beaten the monster, then they're finished and other people aren't going to get the same amount of points for that. So you have a little bit of dungeon crawling, a little bit of dungeon map, some boss monsters, and it gives you that like adventurer feel, which is really fun.
It's nice mapping your way through the dungeon.
There's 4 different maps in here, so once you figure one out, you go and try another one. Plus the maps are never going to be the same. Depending on what you roll, it will determine the path you can take through this dungeon. So, if you like a good dungeon crawl and you want to chuck some dice and beat some monsters, this is the way to go. Sometimes you go on an adventure and it all goes wrong. And what if...
Not every time first.
But what if that included dinosaurs? And what if you were responsible for the creation of those dinosaurs and the safety of the guests who wanted to go around the map in this park?
You put them on little tours through the map. They travel by map.
They travel by map, and hopefully you have enough security so that while they're traveling by map, they don't get eaten by dinosaurs.
They travel right into the T-Rex paddock.
This one does such a good job of giving you the flavor of the giant Dinosaur Island, Dinosaur World games, but just in this nice little neat package. You're still using those big, chunky DNA dice so that you can create the dinosaurs.
They're really cool.
They are. You're still hiring assistants. You're still building out paddocks, doing all of those things so that you can make the best dino tour possible for people who want to come and travel this map. But if you don't manage your security well enough and the park gets just a little bit too exciting, when you run
people are going to get
the tour, people get it. So the only thing I think is that there's no tiny dinos in here, right?
That is the one downside.
Because everybody loves a little tiny dino. Aside from that, this gives me everything I want out of those Dinosaur World, Dinosaur Island games, and much easier to get to the table and play. It plays really well solo too, so if you want to just create a little park on your own, it works perfectly well. But when you're playing with other people, that dice drafting can get a little bit mean. You're not necessarily on the map in this game, but you are making other people travel by map. That counts, right?
Yeah, I think that counts. There's still map traveling.
One of the newest in this list, and our last one, is the one that actually inspired Billy to come up with traveling by map for polyominoes. And that one is Explorers. In Explorers, you actually are traveling by map, marking your little X's as you go along the map. You're flipping a card. What is it? It's a tile, right? It's a map tile.
I don't know. It's not a card or a tile. It's like a little cardboard scroll.
Yeah.
I guess it's a tile.
It's a map. It's a cardboard map.
Tiles have to be square. It's not a tile.
Tiles
it's not
don't have to be square.
Well, rectangular.
You're flipping a cardboard map scroll. Does that work for you? And on that, you have 2 terrain choices, unless it's a wild card, and you choose which one you want to use and which one everyone else gets to use. Now, they could use yours, but they don't get to use as many. And you mark your little X's and go about the map. You're trying to collect provisions. You're trying to collect gems. You're trying to reach your own personal objectives. Like maybe you have to go to the farthest points of the map or visit all the water. I really, really enjoyed this one.
Visit all the water?
Yeah, some of the objectives are like make sure that you
mark... like every body of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. I thought you were just crazy. It's happened.
In this one, when you're done, it actually looks like one of those maps from the Muppets or Indiana Jones, where there's the little X's where you visited. The 4 terrain tiles in the middle are random and they can rotate and they come from a pile of 8 terrain tiles. So the replayability in this is amazing. You're not likely to get the same map twice.
I think it's mean that they don't let people who are 100 years old and over play it.
Billy's upset because it says ages 8 to 99. So if you're 100, let us know if you've tried Explorers and we will write to them.
You. We will report you.
We're not. We're going to write to them and have them expand the age range. So if you want to go on a little vacation, if you want to travel by map, if you want to find a pony or provisions like
ponies
apples, carrots, fish, if you want to find some gems, if you want to go to a hidden temple and unlock its secrets, then you can try this one.
Or you find some paper on the floor or a key. Map.
You can find a map.
You can find paper on the floor.
You can find a map. You can find extra maps.
You travel by map to a map.
There's too many maps. While using a map to determine how far you go on the other map.
Would saying mapception be dated yet?
Yeah, just leave your comments below for Billy.
I'm still cool with it.
So those are some of our favorites where you can escape for a little bit and travel or explore or adventure by map. Are there any that you like that we didn't include in this list?
I have an honorable mention that isn't a Rawr and Write.
What is it?
Merchant's Guild is my favorite travel by map game.
Okay, but this is the Rawr and Write version.
Okay.
We will do an overall travel by map. Okay?
I don't know if I know any other travel by map games. That's why it's honorable mention.
We are trying to get to as many different kinds of Rawr and Writes as we can and give you an example of how many different types there are, because I think there's something out there for almost everyone. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see,
or if you'd like to keep watching until you get one right,
then please like, subscribe, and share. As always, open tables, open minds, and play your shelves.
Bye!
What do you do when it's been a bit of a week at your house and what you really want to do is...
Travel, you're supposed to say travel.
Let's try again. What do you do?
Travel.
Wait. What do you do when it's been a really week at your house and what you really want to do is...
Travel, I think. Travel.
One more time.
Travel.
What do you do?
Why is this the 2-person part?
Because it is. It's interactive.
I'll have them say it. And then,
No,
and if they don't say travel, they're wrong.
No. What do you do when it's been a really week and all you really want to do is...
Go, yeah!
No. Just say travel.
Travel.
See what I tell you to. We're not doing this.